You can turn this printed image into this work of embroidered art, and all you need are the Octi-Hoops and any sewing machine with a straight stitch. You'll print out the design onto a piece of paper so that you know where it will print out on this paper. Write notes on the paper so that you know exactly where it will print the next time. Then tape our stick and rinse stabilizer over that and reinsert it into your printer. You now have a see-through water-soluble sticker. This sticker is a color template for you to embroider through, so you can't forget to change the color of the thread because it's right there in front of you. Use a ruler to help in positioning the template onto the fabric. Make cross marks on the fabric and the template so that you can line it up later. Then peel back the protective release liner and stick your color template onto the fabric. You can peel it off and replace it again. It's repositionable so that you have it perfectly lined up on your fabric. You can also use a light box or window in placing the design onto the fabric. Choose from any of 3 of our different Octi-Hoop frame sizes. The largest works best for this design. Now cut the stick and tear stabilizer the size to fit the frame you chose. Peel off the protective release liner and position the stabilizer on the back of the frame. The stabilizer is designed to stick on and release from the frame. No residue to clean up later and no gumming of the needle either. This makes it easy to reposition and becomes tight as a drum without hurting your hands. The adhesive is sticky but does not come off onto your finger or onto your needle. It will hold the fabric in place without having to stretch the fabric at all. Then you pick the thread colors that you see on the template. The Octi-Hoop kit comes with 2 green handles that feel like crayons in your fingers. They are designed to drop easily into any of the holes on all 8 sides of each of the frames. Begin by pretending to write your name and notice your hand position is resting on the table. Make sure that once your hand is holding the handle, like you would hold a crayon, that you keep it in that position as you drop it into the hole, and that your hand rests on the machine like this. Then you move only your fingers and the frame moves the fabric. This makes the embroidery feel like simple coloring, and anyone can easily embroider on anything with any sewing machine. You will color just as you normally would when filling in a picture in a coloring book. Be sure to leave a space for your outlines so you don't have to guess where the lines go later. And you will soon see why so many people love their Octi-Hoop kit for embroidery. We haven't lowered our feed dogs, so if you can't lower the feed dogs on your machine, you're not left out. In fact, all you need is a straight stitch, so even a treadle or a featherweight can use the Octi-Hoops for free motion embroidery. You can see that we don't use a sewing machine foot either. No foot, no feed dog dropping, no fabric stretching, no holding on to the frame. It's amazing how easy it is once you eliminate all those frustrating things. Notice how easily the fabric moves, that the needle is going straight up and down. No zigzag stitches used, and our embroidery is filling in beautifully. If you don't like to sew fast, you can sew as slowly as feels comfortable for you. No rushing to sew at a pace that someone else determines for you. You're in charge. You may like using both handles all the time, or only part of the time like I do. You're not required to do anything all of the time. Be conscious of how you feel as you embroider. If your hands are not comfortable, stop the machine and adjust until you are. There is no rush, so you can pace yourself. If you keep your hands in a comfortable location all the time and you don't hold the handles too hard, you will find that you can embroider longer than you ever could before. You will be happy to know that your back won't become tight and your hands won't get stiff and sore, because the Octi-Hoops allow you to embroider using proper posture and with barely any muscle movement. With your arms resting on the table, you will also be rested. And embroidery will become a relaxing, creative outlet for you, one that releases stress instead of increasing stress. So you'll feel renewed when you're finished and ready for your next project. You will notice that my left hand is resting on the template. I am not using my fingers to guide. I am touching ever so lightly on the fabric, primarily because my left hand just wants a job, not because it's needed. And remember that you are in control of how fast or how slow you run the machine. Slow down if you're not comfortable, just like you would if you were driving a car and needed to drive in a narrow roadway. If you only have use of one hand, you can embroider with the Octi-Hoops because we have 8 sides that you can guide from. Hold your hand in this position and you can push the frame in this direction, in this hole, and you can move the frame in that direction. If you want to move the frame left to right, hold your hand on this side and you can. If you would rather embroider your own design without a template, you are free to do that as well. And you can enhance fabrics that are printed too. If that isn't enough, you can free motion quilt or stipple with these frames without any stabilizers or any foot at all. You can also use the Octi-Hoops to enhance automatic embroidery machines' embroidery designs so that you can make your work stand out from the rest. When you come close to the frame, you may feel nervous, and I recommend that you stop your sewing machine and see if the machine needle screw assembly can clear the frame, just as you see here. If you can't slide something under it like I'm sliding these scissors, then you may want to be more cautious as you approach the edge of the frame. You cannot accidentally lift the frame while embroidering because we've engineered the holes perfect size to allow you the ease of dropping the handles in and pulling them out. The stick and rinse stabilizer that has been your color template while embroidering is now needing to be removed from the fabric. You can tear it off. However, there will be some adhesive residue that you'll need to rinse away. Take your project to the sink, and you can either soak it for a little while if you're using cold water, or make the water slightly warm and it will rinse away. Even the permanent marker we use to mark the template rinses away with stabilizer. That is why we were able to use a Sharpie marker on this embroidery template, and why your inkjet printer ink never gets on the fabric. When you're done rinsing the stabilizer away, all you have left is your beautiful, one-of-a-kind work of embroidery art that you did, and you'll be so proud of your accomplishment.